All right, we just got some fuel and we're ready to roll. So today the plan is to ride to one of the scariest places in the world. It's the most supernatural place in the world is what it's been called. Skinwalker Ranch. Howdy there, brother. A little way back. That's cool. Said honk. I don't know what it said honk for, but I honked. Anyway, so Skinwalker Ranch, like I said, one of the most supernatural places in the world. There's tons and tons of stories. There's aliens involved. There's orbs that fly through the sky. There's portals. There's the actual Skinwalker itself. It's kind of a place where all these supernatural things meet together. So that's kind of why it's so scary and why people aren't really allowed to go onto the ranch. Also, it's private property, so that's another reason. But we're just gonna cruise there today. I'll be telling some stories as we go of some of the things that have happened on Skinwalker, either to people I know or just, you know, urban legends. I did not put my gloves on. Get my gloves on, there we go. So I'm gonna give a little bit of a history of the whole ranch, and it's got a TV show, so some of you may actually know the history. It lays outside of Ballard, Utah. It's kind of between Ballard and Fort Duchesne. That's the reservation for the Ute Indian tribe. Skinwalker is actually a Ute entity. It's like an Indian entity. So, as far as I understand, the Navajos lived up here in this area too. And the Utes, I think, teamed up with the U.S. to kind of kick the Navajos out. And the Navajos, as they were leaving, they cursed the people with the Skinwalkers. It's like a shapeshifter, is the best way to put it. Or you might think of like an Indian werewolf. The Navajos cursed the Skinwalker on the Utes on this specific ridge. The Ute tribe kind of just avoided that place because the Skinwalker was there. But eventually when settlers came in, they of course didn't really believe the legends. They settled right under the ridge, and everything was fine and dandy for probably the first 5 years or so. But then they started noticing their dogs going missing, or their cows were missing. There was reports of things in the house moving around, finding their tools in trees and stuff, seeing eyes in the woods, you know, all the scary things. Eventually, the Skinwalker got so ticked it pushed these people off this land. Another crew came in. Again, they didn't believe anything about Skinwalkers. They experienced similar things. Now it's owned by a guy named Brandon Fugel, and there's a history TV show all about it. It's a pretty interesting deal, honestly. So there's tons and tons of stories and urban legends of what actually happens at Skinwalker Ranch, all the tales, all the whatever. And oftentimes it seems like it has a lot to do with cows. It's kind of like the stereotypical, you know, alien pulling a cow up into their UFO. One of the main stories that I have that kind of makes you question everything has to deal with cows. So there's this guy that lived on Skinwalker, and he had these 3 just prized bulls, right? They looked amazing. One day they go missing, and he's talking to all of his neighbors. He's like, "You stole my bull. I know you got him. Open up your barns or whatever." Eventually they're all like, "We don't have your bulls. We have no idea where they're at." And he calls the sheriff, and the sheriff comes down and starts investigating. There's like a shipping container in the middle of like the actual base that they have on Skinwalker right now by all the corrals. They start looking around, and they kind of get close to the shipping container, and they smell all these funny things, you know, dead whatever. And so they open this shipping container, and there's just 3 bulls stacked all right on top of each other. They were tight in there because bulls are pretty big animals in a shipping container. It wasn't massive or anything. It's kind of smaller. It had to be close from the inside. That wouldn't have happened by human. Human can't lift a bull up, you know. You can't stack them in there like that. There's a lot of holes in that story that, I mean, the only way you can explain it is a mythical being, really. Just recently, even on their TV show, they were doing a test of some type, and all their instruments went out. Electromagnetic surge or something, I don't know. But then they look out into the field, and there's this calf just doing circles.
Look at this cow, guys. Hey, guys, look at this cow.
What's going on? It's spinning in circles. What the hell's wrong with that cow?
Cows just do not do that. They had white eyes. They pulled the vet in. The vet said there's brain trauma there. All the rest of the cows were fine. It was just this one calf. There's just a lot of weird things that happen. I've been outside the gates a couple different times. I can't say I've had my own like super scary experiences, but there's also just this weird uneasy feeling that you get when you go onto the ranch. Whether that was my own mind that put it there or an actual like energy or whatever, who knows. There's a lot of people with a lot of different opinions about the whole thing. Some people that have seen stuff, other people that are super skeptical. A lot of people say it's just your mind playing tricks on you. Then again, we've gotten some stuff on video, like the calf spinning. Pretty hard to tell, honestly. Whoa, my goodness gracious. This guy's never gonna turn. I wonder if no, I don't. Probably dumb to go around him. Or just wait my turn. Or I just pass him. Lane split through everything. This is kind of scary. He must have lost that thing. Hey look, there's a Virago just like mine. Man, that's not really a situation you really want to be in, sitting in the middle of I think this is a 60 on the highway, just hanging out, waiting for someone to come hit you, pretty much. If this video gets enough views and enough likes, I'm going to see if I can come spend the night down here. Maybe not actually on Skinwalker, but maybe I'll stay on Moon Shadow, where there have been other supernatural things happening. Let me know what your favorite story was, or if you guys have any stories too. I love hearing all about other people's experiences with all this different kind of stuff. I'm on the highway to hell. Way to hell. I don't know if I should be listening to Highway to Hell when I'm pulling up on Skinwalker Ranch. That's kind of you know. Right here at this corner one time I was coming out here with friends to just kind of scare ourselves, you know. Skinwalker usually comes in like a big black dog. Anyways, we're just hanging out there at the corner trying to get the courage to come up down this road. All of a sudden this black dog appears. We didn't know where it came from. We weren't really paying attention. It's probably just a normal dog, but we freaked ourselves out. I peeled out. I was in a minivan. I peeled out front wheel drive. We got out of there just freaking ourselves out, really. Alright, well let's poke around, see what we can find. And see if we can get any Skinwalkers angry at us, huh? How would it be to live right there? Like, literally right next to the most supernatural and scary haunted place on earth. Only authorized personnel, private road. Pretty much you're gonna get sued if you go past that point. And there's cameras. Hello. I think they do live streams and stuff with the cameras. I don't know about those ones though. I think maybe just on the inside. There's a bunch of white trucks and government vehicles in there. But yeah, I don't know what do you do to make a Skinwalker angry? Throw rocks? Well, of course we gotta go take some pictures. Also, Bigfoot's a pretty big thing in this area. There's people that say, like kind of down in this area, they've heard Bigfoot talking back and forth with another Bigfoot or something like that. There's people that whistle. We had it happen the other day actually. This dude stayed the night, started whistling. He was getting a bunch of whistles back from all around him. Say most haunted place on earth. 1, 2, 3. Most haunted place on earth. Yeah, there's a campground here. If you guys want to come check out a campground. I know there were talks of actually putting a campground on the actual ranch. They backed out on the idea because they couldn't guarantee the safety of anybody that actually stayed on the ranch. And so they pulled the plug on that idea. I think it'd be pretty fun. And like I said, I'll maybe see if I can stay the night around here somewhere, I guess. You think they'll get mad at me if I throw a rock at the stop sign? Just kidding, that's a bad throw. I don't think there's too much we can do in the daytime. I think it'd be dope to go in there. Maybe we should jump on this thing and break down the gate. And then that part of the plan's kind of spotty, but we'll figure it out when we get there. I wish I had a Mountain Dew or something I could crack open and drink and cheers to the Skinwalker, but I don't. Maybe, you know what? Let's whistle a little bit. I'm gonna just whistle and see if we happen to hear something. I just hear a bunch of birds. Maybe it has to be dark. We're just gonna go with that. And then the Skinwalker will come get you. It looks like a lot of people come in here to come look at this stop sign and look at those gates. You know, I heard Skinwalkers hate it when you dig, so I'm just gonna do a burnout real quick. That wasn't much of a burnout, but you know, you get the point. Hello, fellow. Do you think that person's possessed? A lot of footage gets corrupted on the ranch. Like the TV crews, they have to get their stuff off of the ranch pretty quick, or else it gets corrupted and like unusable, or it's even deleted itself. So what I'm saying is, hopefully none of my footage just completely disappears so I can't use it. So I'm not that sure how superstitious the biker community actually is. I'm sure it depends on what part of the country you're in or whatever. But let me know if you believe in this kind of stuff, or if it's just a bunch of bogus, or you know, if I just curse myself with the Skinwalker by throwing rocks and whistling and doing burnouts and stuff. Kind of pretty though. Usually this is where I'd cut the video off, but I mean, we just visited the scariest place on earth, the most haunted place on earth. There's got to be something crazy that happens on our way home, right? Even if I did get cursed today, I still got to ride a motorcycle. If I had the option between being cursed the rest of my life or never riding a motorcycle the rest of my life, I would take the cursing. So more on the urban legend side of things, I've heard a story of a cop pulling this lady over. She's speeding, she's going way fast, so he gives her a ticket. Then as she goes to leave, she speeds away. And the cop's like, you didn't learn your lesson, what? So he flips on his lights, goes to get her again. Well, she jumps out of her car, then she gets on all fours and starts running. And it's all the cop can do. I mean, he's, I don't know, going 60, 70, trying to keep up with her running on all fours. But I also have a friend that lives in Arizona that experienced something similar. But he's coming down the mountains and it's way, way late at night. And there was like this lady on the side of the road as they come around this turn, and she's like on the white line and they about hit her. And this old ancient looking lady, right? So him and his buddies decide, you know, maybe we should turn around, maybe she's lost, she's in the middle of nowhere. So they turn around. They're really already kind of feeling their heart pumping faster. They're already scared going back. They get out there and they kind of come up onto where she was, and she was still there. And one of them goes to roll down their window, and this lady takes a step towards him, and instantly he said that there's just this terrible feeling that they all felt, like this darkness. The driver, he slams his foot on the gas. That lady, ancient, old as dirt, is running 30 to 40 miles an hour after them, keeping up. Come to find out, there had been a tribe in that area that would leave elderly ladies or babies on the road for people like them that were nice enough to go help. And then when they'd get out of their cars, the rest of the people were on the side of the road and they'd go rob them. Kind of interesting riding in the middle of nowhere in the desert. Not because I think my bike's gonna break down, but it's always in the back of your head, especially now that I'm cursed. There's not really even trees to sit under, not at all actually. If you do break down, you just kind of have to sit in the sun and wait for who knows how long for someone to come get you. Back to civilization. Anyhow, I think that's where we're going to wrap up this video. Thanks for watching my ride to Skinwalker Ranch. Again, let me know your stories, your thoughts. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss our camp out at Skinwalker Ranch. Thanks again. We'll see you on the next one.